We're live.
I like that.
That's what I heard.
That might be your new...
We need a thing like a...
Yeah.
That was really aggressive.
Better than hey. Better than that. Yeah. We're live.
Welcome, everybody. Left of Center.
Season 3, Episode 3. Double threes.
The number one rated podcast in the United States of America.
Someday.
It is.
Maybe.
In our minds.
You just got to run with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me feel... Actually, it makes me feel a little nervous.
YouTube sensations. How about that?
John, are we
We're
YouTube sensations yet?
We are working on it.
Thank you. We're going to go with that.
Hey, we're going to jump into a serious topic. We're going to try to break the show up into two pieces today. We're going to start off with a serious topic, and then we're going to go more lighthearted towards the end of the show, and we want a clear break between, because we have serious business we do want to talk about at the beginning of the show, and we want a clear break, and then when we come back after, it's going to be more lighthearted, right?
Because
Yeah.
Dad is capable of being serious sometimes.
No, yeah, I mean, we have to be serious. There's a lot going on. We had I don't know if you guys noticed, we had a protest at City Hall last night.
I did. I drove by.
We had it was like 50 people, nonetheless.
Yeah.
A protest. It was peaceful.
Very.
And obviously there's a lot going on in the world right now. In fact, a lot going on right here in our own backyard in Chicago. There was a fatal shooting of a 13-year-old by police.
Yeah.
Adam Toledo, 13-year-old.
And you know, one of the things that was, I think, real important about what happened in this shooting versus the shooting that happened, I don't know, under Mayor Rahm, think about how fast the video came out.
True.
Remember, it was like a year and a half or whatever it was with the...
Trayvon Martin, right?
Trayvon Martin, yeah.
Right.
No. Trayvon Martin's in Florida.
Laquan McDonald.
Laquan McDonald, that's right. Thank you.
Laquan McDonald's video was like 13 months, 14 months, 18 months.
Okay,
more,
but...
More than a year, almost 2 years.
Okay, so we have two videos we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Adam Toledo and then Laquan McDonald, right?
Yeah, there's a big difference in the video.
I think there's a big difference in how and first off, Laquan McDonald, there was a lot of body cameras on him. There was a lot of cameras on the young man. He was walking. The police knew it, and whereas to Adam Toledo, which just happened the other day, it was a lot more, I don't know, heat of the moment, a lot more, I think it was a lot more scary as one-on-one. There was an officer chasing him. Whereas there was a whole fleet going after Laquan McDonald, and there was multiple angles, multiple cops watching.
Yeah, they had circled him, yeah.
And so, I think that it was more reprehensible what happened in the shooting in Laquan McDonald personally than what happened with the 13-year-old.
I mean, both lost their lives, right? That's the tragedy.
Yeah.
That's the downside. That's the serious part. That's the terrible, the tragedy. But look at them; they're different.
Right. But there's a timeline. Do you mind going through this? We can go through because it all happened from reports of shots fired at 2:35 a.m. First off, let's take a step back. The victim in this case, the 13-year-old that died from the police shooting, was 13, and he was out at 2:35 a.m.
Right. I mean, I think those are the initial questions, like what's a 13-year-old doing out? And
that's absolutely
everybody's quick
question.
to say well, what about the parents and blah blah blah, right? And I think from what I heard, I got this out of an article. In recent days, Adam's mother had said she had no idea that he was out the night of the shooting. She thought he was safely in his room at the time. Adam had been missing for several days, she said, but had come home and gone into the room that he shared with his brother that night.
So he was missing from the house.
Yeah, for days. So obviously the kid's out, right?
Not an ideal at-home situation for this young man.
Yeah, it sounds like it's rough, and sounds like the mom that evening thought he was in his room finally and had been home. But kids sneak out. They do stuff that's stupid.
Did you ever sneak out when you were a kid, Lindsay?
I lived on the second floor. Where was I going to go?
She's such a good girl.
She is a good girl.
How about you?
Yeah, I did when I was a kid, for sure. We snuck out all the time, and we often told, when I was a kid, I would tell my mom, single mom, I'm staying at my buddy Deuce's house. And then Deuce would tell his mom and dad, hey, I'm staying at Tom's house. And then Ron would say, I'm staying. And then we would just freaking walk around, get into trouble, go drink.
Yep.
But nothing violent. We didn't.
No, nobody had guns. I mean, back in our, when we were growing up, nobody had guns.
Right. But we would definitely be messing around all night. We'd drive in 4 a.m. and I remember plenty of times watching the sun come up from my buddy's car. But so in this case, 2:35 a.m. Chicago's got the shot spotter system, which is East Chicago's got a shot spotter system, and I believe Gary by IU has a shot spotter system. This is a system where if a gunshot goes off, it is triangulated to within feet,
a couple 100 feet or 100 feet, I think.
Yeah, of where the shot happened. So 2:35 a.m. the other day, multiple shot spotter sensors pick up audio of approximately 9 gunshots being fired.
So, Mayor, let's think about this. 2:35 is the first timeline, right?
Yeah, 2:35.
All right.
Okay, so 2:36 a.m., the first of 2 911 calls provided by TPD was placed. The caller says they heard 6 or 7 shots in the 2300 block of South Sawyer. I'm hearing a lot of commotion right now. The caller, who asked to remain anonymous, reported to dispatchers. Okay, so 1 minute later, you start getting the 911 calls. 2:37 a.m., one minute after that,
Another 911
the second
call.
of the 911 calls placed. Female caller says they heard multiple gunshots. I just heard gunshots coming from Cermak and Kenzie, she says. When a dispatcher asks how many shots were fired, she responds, a lot, more than 5. 2:38, so this is 3 minutes later. An officer's body camera shows them arriving at the scene and exiting the driver's side door of their squad vehicle. After colliding with the civilian, the officer begins to chase an individual identified as Adam Toledo down an alley.
So actually, one of the things I thought was interesting about this, and in Lake County, we always hear about like, gosh, it takes so long with dispatch, blah blah blah. Look how quick between phone call 2:36.
Well, we know the gunshots went off at 2:35 because
right. But I'm just saying between shot spotter and the call, 3 minutes. And
3
the police
minutes
are on the scene.
They're on the scene.
On the
in 3
scene
minutes,
and
which
engaged.
is great.
That's what I mean. It's phenomenal.
3 minutes. I mean, the
Response
perpetrator's
time?
still there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, unless they fire the guns and start running immediately.
Or get in a car and take off.
Right. So Oscar pulls up. Now, body cam is activated 35 seconds later, which is standard. If you'll notice when you're looking at body cam, this is something I know, and Kevin and I know this through being mayor. When Oscar first gets there, 30 seconds is automatically muted because, it's on all the time, but like the first 30 seconds is always muted, and then it kicks on. The audio kicks on.
Why is that?
Because everything they do would be audio then. Because they have 99 out of 100 interactions are not going to be pulled and reviewed. You know what I'm saying? So like this thing isn't always on. Like it's always videoing. It's not always audio.
And Lindsay, that's the automatic. So like, for example, if an officer, most of the times the officer's instructed to put it on. Mm-hmm. But if, for example, like let's say they're in this situation, get out of the car, have to start chasing.
Good point.
You don't necessarily push it on.
Thank you, Kevin.
Even though there's protocol to push it,
right.
It's like a backup. Like it'll go on automatically.
They also have Bluetooth between the siren. The siren, the lights and sirens in the car. If an officer puts that on, it automatically activates his audio.
Body cam.
His body cam turns on, and the first 30 seconds is muted, and then after that, it kicks in.
Right.
Okay. So 2:35 and 35 seconds, officer's body camera audio kicks in as he yells at Toledo to stop and identifies himself as a police officer. That's important, right?
Yeah.
4 seconds after that, Toledo stops at a gap in the fence. The officer yells at him to show me your fucking hands. Toledo turns around towards the officer and begins to raise his hand with the officer yelling at him to drop it. A single gunshot is fired, and Toledo falls to the ground. The officer reports to dispatch that shots have been fired and requests an ambulance and a medical kit. 2:39. This is 4 freaking minutes after the phone calls are placed.
And 1 minute after they arrived on the scene, by the way.
Toledo is seen briefly trying to get up and then falling
back.
back to the ground. The officer is heard on video asking Toledo where he was shot while still requesting a medical kit to seal the wounds and enable CPR. 2:40. The officer reports that Toledo does not have a pulse and seals the wound to begin chest compressions. 2:42. When the other officers arrive on scene and administer first aid to Toledo, the officer and another witness see an officer walk behind a fence a short distance from the gap where Toledo was shot. The officers shine their flashlights on a spot near the fence where a black gun is seen. 2:44, witnessing officer asks the officer who fired the shots if he wants to sit down while an ambulance arrives at the scene. 2:46, the order is given to shut off body cameras.
All right. So
within 11 minutes from the shots, we had a dead kid, and the officers were like turning off the body cams and probably trying to figure out what the hell happened.
And if you really look at the timeline, right, from the minute they arrived on the scene to the shooting was like 40 seconds, 42 seconds.
Is that
tops? Yeah, it's like 2:38 to 2:38:49, I think.
2:38, they arrive.
Or 2:38:40 is when the shots get fired. So it's like,
damn.
It's
2:30.
It's under a minute.
2:38:39.
It's under a minute.
Yeah. No, it is. It's
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Yeah.
So
John, do we have the video? I don't know. I saw it for the first time this morning.
I don't want to watch it again.
You don't have to watch
right.
it. Like, I mean, I think this is important, and obviously for the people watching on YouTube and the people watching on Facebook Live, it'll show for them. For the people that are listening, just bear with us. It's only 40 seconds long.
Yeah, it's and one of the things I guess as we're watching it, it's interesting, right? We were talking about this yesterday, Mayor, where body cams, I think overall you would say are awesome because they really do, right? But you end up with this microsecond analysis.
40 seconds.
Yeah, microsecond analysis by everybody, which, I
Right.
guess is a good or bad. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. But
And a warning to people who don't want to see it.
yeah, if you're watching and you don't want to see this.
Yeah, I haven't even played the CNN one, so I don't know if there's a reporter beforehand or not, but yeah.
Yeah, there is. So. Wonder if they're going to show
It's
it.
hard to watch the final moments of a 13-year-old boy's life from the officer's gun.
Okay, there
It
it is.
happened on March 29th. Chicago police say officers were responding to a shots
there-
fired
yeah,
call on the
okay, so I
city's
can
west
deal with that.
side when they say they came
He yells, "Drop it, bang," or
Yeah,
"Hands
and-
up, bang." Like,
I saw
didn't
New York.
even give him like a chance to.
Okay.
Well, I saw New York
Okay.
Times analysis that said within a second of when
Yeah.
the shooting occurred, he had a gun in his hand.
I know. We're like being critical of an officer. Like, put yourself in the officer's position.
No, I'm saying within
I know.
a second of when he shot,
I know.
there was a gun.
I know. And I'm talking to Lindsay also. And like, the public calls the police when they hear multiple gunshots. And the police's job is to respond and figure out what happened.
To a
right?
dangerous
No, who
situation.
wants to do that?
Investigate. Yes.
Who wants to do that? There's a
No thanks.
person in my alley firing a gun. You take care of it.
Yeah.
Police officer, I am in my house. There's no way in hell I'm going out there. You take care of it.
Which, by the way, we are told to do. We're not told
Right.
to go take
No,
matters
exactly.
in your own hand.
Right, but like this poor police officer,
Yeah.
this is their job. We don't feel sorry for them because they signed up for it, but they show up. So now I'm sure the officer's scared, right? I'd be freaking scared.
These guys are trained. They're trained.
But
They're
you're
trained.
not. But Kevin,
I agree. I mean, yeah,
There's an
nobody
active shooter.
Absolutely.
and
I don't
you're
want to
the
face
first
anybody
on-
with a gun.
You're in a dark alley by yourself with an active shooter, and this is the guy, and
Yeah.
I'm chasing him down an alley. I'm
Your
freaking
adrenaline's
petrified.
going. Yeah.
Hell
And by the
yeah,
way,
dude.
but what I meant by that was they're a lot better trained than I am in that situation, which is why I'm
course.
glad they're going there,
Of course.
not me.
And so, like, I imagine the officer's scared. And first off, the kid did have a gun,
Yeah.
right, Lindsay? I know, like, the kid had a gun.
Okay. Yes.
It's 2:35
How
in the
did he
AM.
get the gun? He's the 7th grader.
Well, we're going
I
to get
agree.
into that.
I
I can't
agree.
wait to talk about the piece
Yeah.
of shit that was with him.
Right, the 21-year-old that gave him
Yeah,
the gun.
I'm looking forward
but
to talking about
I heard
him.
that the 13-year-old had gun residue on his hands. I'm not sure if that.
Who knows?
So anyway,
He's a 7th grader.
but still, like, somebody was firing a gun.
Somebody was telling him to fire the gun.
But
Good,
nonetheless,
good point, Lynn.
somebody should have been like mom and dad, like making sure
I
the
mean,
kid
well,
wasn't
here,
out there
You
firing.
gotta
got-
think of like your local 7th grader. I mean, is that kid going to go out and get his own gun
No.
and then going to fire?
No,
it out of
which
a
is
car
why they-
who's
Right.
driving the car. Who's allowing him to do this?
All right, so let me
True.
talk about that. Ruben Roman, 21 years old,
piece
out
of
with
crap.
out with a 13-year-old, and tells him to shoot a gun. They have him on video.
Do you think the
shooting
kid
a gun
should-
multiple times on Kedzie Avenue?
So the kid, the 13-year-old, was firing it.
I didn't hear that. Which way?
I didn't hear that
yeah,
either.
but okay.
But
this-
like, so let's say it was the 21-year-old firing it. His job was to get the gun, because I was talking to the chief about this yesterday. 21-year-old wants the 13-year-old to get the gun, because if the 13-year-old gets caught with the gun, no big deal.
sure,
21-year-old gets caught with the gun, he goes to prison.
that's right.
So give the gun to the 13-year-old. 13-year-old, I imagine, is fast. He's hauling ass with the gun. He wants to ditch it. He's not, And then, of course, the
His
officer
brain
sees a
isn't
kid
fully
with a gun.
developed. He doesn't know how to handle that kind of
All
stressful
true,
situation.
all true, all
Absolutely.
true, Lindsay.
Absolutely.
all true.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you
Nonetheless,
this,
the officer doesn't know this backstory. He just sees a kid with a gun in
running
a dark
and
alley.
shots fired.
And shots fired.
But
He's-
is it standard protocol for a cop to go after an armed person by himself?
I'm glad you're asking this. First off, I think that's a heroic cop. Okay.
Well, I think that's risky though.
But
'cause
listen,
it's
of course
just
it is.
you.
It's
you against
risky
another
being a cop.
person.
But like, this is something Lori Lightfoot said yesterday that I would strongly disagree with. She says we're gonna take a look at foot pursuits and think about making foot pursuits not like legal in
It's
Chicago.
crazy.
Like, so they already outlawed police chases. So like, if you're a bad guy, just jump in your car and drive
I know
away.
I can drive away.
Because they can't chase me. Now, if I'm like mugging somebody and a cop shows up, I just run. They can't chase me. So guess what happens?
How do you catch the bad guys?
All these businesses are just going to flee and they're going to move here. So we should be happy in Indiana because Chicago's dead if they stop chasing the bad guys.
And you know what? This came up when you did LPRs, and when you which are license plate readers.
Yeah.
There was a big discussion internally and pressure put on the mayor to not publicize this.
Right.
To not
Totally.
publicize
Totally.
And what happened? You were like, you know what? No,
I want to.
I want to let the bad guys know.
Thank you.
We're watching them.
Absolutely.
And so it's the same effect, I think, when you say you're letting the bad guys know we can't chase them, we can't run them down.
Right. We're not going to chase you in a car. We're not going to chase you on foot. Guess what happens every time there's an arrest?
Yep.
You just run.
Right.
I'm running. And then they're
Or
not
I'm
going to
getting in my car
chase
and take
me.
off.
Well,
Right.
I think that the benefit of the cameras that you have installed on the state border here is that it scans every license plate that comes in,
Yep.
so you don't have to chase them.
We still have to chase them.
I
We
mean,
chase
yeah,
them.
but like
No, we
it's-
chase them in
Like you
Hammond.
know where they
We
are
will
because
chase
of
them.
the cameras.
And like, believe me, we had a horrible settlement with a horrible car crash because it was a high speed chase, and it sucks. And we paid a lot of money, and of course, a little girl died, which is tragic and horrible. And her grandma, was badly injured. It was a horrible tragedy. But I tell you what, we have a job to do, and we're going to chase bad guys. We're going to chase you in a car. We're going to chase you on foot,
Safely.
and we're going to defend ourselves also.
Safely.
If you pull a gun on one of our officers, my officers are going to defend themselves. And I'm not going to ever give them a contradictory order other than that. We want to catch the bad guys. That's our job. We're not
Even
going to let
if-
you run
I
away
mean-
and just say, okay, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
even if there's civilians at risk during these kinds of chases,
There are at
and
risk, Erin.
pursuits,
But
I mean,
civilians
you just
are at
said that
risk.
There were. I mean,
Lindsay, civilians are at
what's
risk
the-
when you have bad guys too. By the way, I had a carjacking 2 days ago. Civilians are at risk from that also.
and Mayor, you said this is a hero. When you said hero cop, what you didn't mean regarding the shooting. You meant
No.
regarding the fact that he's
Chasing a bad guy.
The fact that these guys are out there on their own have to make
2:30
decisions.
Running after a guy
With
with
a
a
gun.
gun.
Yeah.
You don't know
by
if he's
himself,
40 years
I think
old.
that's a risk.
It is a risk.
And
He
he's
shouldn't
ta-
be doing that by himself.
Well,
then all the bad guys are going to run away.
And
That's
and
the thing.
You
Like,
give him a partner. Or isn't that standard procedure?
there
in
were
the police
there were other
department?
people there. There were other police officers there. They were just
it
behind
could have
him.
been, he could have been the passenger in the car for all we know.
Yeah.
Which could have explained how quickly he was. Like, if that's the thing about having a 2-man car is the guy drives you right up.
Right, and the guy
then
in
the
the passenger
passenger jumps
hops out.
out and you're right in the action. It could have been that. Who knows, Lindsay?
And by the way, Lindsay and everybody, I want to mention this piece of shit, Reuben Robin, 21 years old.
the guy that
I
probably
want-
was the shooter.
I would love to see that guy get charged with felony murder.
He
It's like when
probably
you're.
will.
I hope so. He should be, because this is the guy who got the kid out of the house. I guarantee you, got him out of the house at 2 a.m. Told him to come on. Wants to impress. The young kid, the 13-year-old, Mr. Adam Toledo, probably wants to impress the older kid. Probably been out with him for days or whatever situation, gang or whatever. I don't know for sure. And this guy, he's out taking a 13-year-old around at 2:30 in the morning shooting a gun.
Yep.
To me, he's the problem.
Yeah,
He
the
is the
21-year-old,
problem.
for sure.
Absolutely.
For
That guy
sure.
should never see the light of day.
Agree.
He caused that kid to be shot and killed.
Agree. And so like I look at this one and it's a tragedy. And it's a lot like the car crash that we settled in Hammond. It's a tragedy, but the officer had a job to do, and quite frankly, it's a horrible result. But I think the officer,
We've seen a lot different situations in the country.
like George Floyd,
Not
there's nothing about that arrest and that murder that I would ever defend with the police officers ever.
Derek
And
Chauvin should be convicted, and I
Yeah.
hope he is today.
I hope
or
so, too.
Monday. Closing arguments Monday.
I hope
next
so
week.
also, Kevin.
Yeah.
And I most of the police officers I know feel the same exact way about Chauvin.
It makes them look bad in
It makes
everybody's
them all
eyes.
look bad.
Yeah.
He killed George Floyd. He
Without
killed
a
him. He
doubt.
choked him to death, and there's nothing you could do to convince me
and
otherwise.
he sat proudly on his neck for 9 minutes. It's ridiculous.
And now we have the one with Officer Kim Potter, the officer in
Dante Wright.
Dante Wright, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, where the officer accidentally grabbed a taser. I mean, thought she was grabbing her
taser.
Right, she grabbed her gun instead of grabbing a taser, and then she put a single shot.
I mean, to me, the issue there is, why are you pulling out a gun on somebody who had bad plates and a misdemeanor warrant?
Good
I mean,
point.
let him go. I mean,
So,
let him, if he wants to run, go.
So distinguish that from the Mr. Toledo, the 13-year-old.
Yeah, sure. I mean, no weapons seen by Mr. Wright.
So so the one in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota was over a misdemeanor. So why are you pulling a gun for a misdemeanor? Right?
And they pulled him over originally for like bad plates.
So go back to
Expired
Lindsay's point.
plates.
So
Expired plates.
So going back to Lindsay's point. So
Yep.
maybe that's the difference is don't pursue in a misdemeanor.
Or or for example, when you know the identity of the person, they had his license, they knew
Right.
who he was.
Right.
Go get him later.
Right.
It's
Good
ridiculous.
point.
And
Yeah,
you're-
you could get resisting.
Hell
Right.
yes.
And it's a
I mean-
misdemeanor. It's not a violent crime.
That's right.
Right. So like, whereas the officer in the Toledo shooting that just happened in Chicago, the 13-year-old, it was not a misdemeanor. This
Violent
is
crime. It's felony.
gunshots at
Fleeing
2:30.
Fleeing felon. I mean, that's what
Fleeing
that's the term, right?
armed felon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, okay.
If we're not going to chase fleeing armed felons, who are we going to chase?
If we're not going to chase fleeing armed felons, I suggest everybody moves to rural America ASAP because you're going to lose the city. Chicago, if Lori Lightfoot follows this protocol saying that officers aren't allowed to chase on foot, officers aren't allowed to chase on car, get ready. Chicago is going to be a ghost town. More than it already is,
and dangerous. By the way, I mean, if you're gonna,
if I'm a bad guy, I'm going to Chicago.
If I'm getting
I'm a
mugged on the
fast
street
guy,
and a police officer's,
I'm just like running.
up 2 feet away from me, and he can't catch the guy. What's going?
Sorry, see ya. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
He's gonna tend to me and my I just got beat up. I'm just gonna sit with you to make sure you're okay. Bad guy's gone. Can't chase him.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, we're having this discussion because it's a tragedy, and nobody likes to see the loss of life. That's terrible, but.
I want one, and before we move on, because we're gonna cut this off in a couple seconds. But there's one common thread with all of the situations we just talked about. Okay, what are the common threads, guys?
Well, you have minority victims, and you have white cops. That's one.
White cops, minority victims. So we have a Hispanic kid, and then a couple African American kids, and white cops. Right. What else?
Let's see. What else? I mean, I guess I
got one.
All right.
Resisting arrest. That's a common thread in all of these.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that in Hammond, right? Where people aren't listening to what the orders of the police are. Right. I mean, arguably in this last one, he did put his hands up, but he ran from the cop first. Split second.
He ran first.
Yeah.
That's the common thread in all of them. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying it's a common thread. The kid with the misdemeanor in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, was fleeing. George Floyd, obviously, was resisting arrest and got murdered. And then this kid, the 13-year-old, was fleeing. Going back to Laquan McDonald, fleeing. Like, most of the problems we have is when...
Laquan McDonald was a problem for me.
He was fleeing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was surrounded, didn't have a weapon,
But he was fleeing
originally.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do when a bunch of men
they shot him
with
11
guns
times in the back?
Around you?
No,
You're gonna try
I'm not
and run.
justifying that.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying that.
I'll tell you one thing, though. You know what I told Charlie this week? He just got his license. He's driving, so be careful out there. But I said, listen, if you ever get pulled over by the police, you do two things. One, you put your car in park. Two, you put your hands on the wheel, 10 and 2, and just wait for the officer to ask you what you need to do. If he says, I need your registration, you say, officer, it's in my glove compartment.
That's right.
I mean, you can deal with any if you're getting harassed by the police, trust me, you can get it resolved down the road, but you shouldn't be running and not listening to the police at that moment, in my opinion.
When it comes to resisting arrest, I think a really big issue that we have here is that a lot of people are told by their parents that you cannot trust the police. The police have guns, and if you are caught doing something you're not supposed to, they feel that they need to protect themselves, which is fleeing, resisting arrest, trying to get away from a dangerous situation.
And I would also say, by the way, like what I just said is like my white guy perspective,
That's
right?
true.
I didn't grow up African American and felt like every time I had contact with the police, it was like harassment. So I'm just giving you my perspective. I wouldn't want to speak for everybody.
But in my situation here, I mean, a lot of people feel that in those situations it's dangerous, and the instinct is to get away from a dangerous situation.
Yeah, no, you're right, Linz. There's definitely that for
So
sure.
we jumped right into a serious topic, and obviously we didn't touch on it as long as we could touch on it. We didn't want the whole show to be about that, but we also wanted to point out that here we are again, and America seems to be heading down the wrong path in regard to race relations and policing. But we did want to start off the show with that, and I sort of want to change tone. So if you guys don't mind, we'll roll into the ads.
And
when we come back, we're definitely have a lot more lighthearted topic. We have Phil Taillon and John Kennedy coming in.
That's lighthearted in itself.
Yeah, we have them coming into the studio so we could talk about some funny stuff.
Yeah, we want to get into triathletes.
Yeah, triathletes.
The real triathletes.
Triathletes, right. So
but,
why don't we go ahead, Kevin? You want to Lindsay, you got your spiel? You ready to go?
Here it is.
You want me to do my spiel now?
Yes,
I know.
right now.
We're changing tone. Like, this is us changing tone.
Here's me.
Act 2.
Depressed and going to change the tone. Okay, so you're listening.
We don't want to be depressed. We're a show here.
Oh, what's the shirt?
late.
What's the shirt you got, Lindsay? What
this
band is this?
This is my Rob Zombie shirt.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I love Rob Zombie.
I'm a big fan of this man. He just dropped a new album, so go check it out.
We need Rob Zombie as
a great
direct
director.
sponsor.
He can just send me merch. That'd be fine.
All right.
So. You're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LockPod, LOCPOD. If you can't listen in live, you can download our episodes from the Apple Podcast or Spotify app, or the Stitcher app or the iHeartRadio app. Just search Left of Center Podcast and look for our red and blue logo. Thanks.
Stay with us, everybody.
Share, subscribe.
The second half of the show is we've planned this out. It's going to be really funny. So I think you want to stay with us, and I think you'll be happy. So please stay with us.
Stick around for the fun. I want to thank our sponsors, including our top sponsor, Powering America, is Northwest Indiana's source for a trusted electrical professional. If you're a developer looking for a large-scale electrical contractor, Powering America can help take the guesswork out of finding a professional you can trust. Their select network of electrical contractors are committed to employing local electricians that have successfully completed a certified apprenticeship training program registered with the Indiana Department of Labor. All employees are held to a high standard of professionalism, expertise, and knowledge, and all of their contractors are licensed, bonded, and insured. If you'd like more information about your electrical needs, visit Powering America today at certifiedelectrician.com.
Hey, to continue the next Friday, we have a
Yes.
guest where I'm sure his angle,
His insight.
is going to be very interesting in regards to what's going on. We have Lake County Prosecutor Bernie Carter coming on next Friday as our guest. And for those of you that are, from across the country that listen to our show,
And in Brussels.
Mr. Carter's he's an African-American Lake County prosecutor. He's been in that position for
25 years plus.
25 plus years. So obviously very well liked.
And a great perspective on both ends. He's law and order. He grew, he's obviously an African-American guy. He's got really good perspective on both ends.
And he's great.
Very
He's going to be a
interesting.
great guest. We're super excited to have him. So next Friday, Lake County Prosecutor Bernie Carter. And if you liked the beginning of today's show, when Prosecutor Carter comes in, we'll probe him as far as it sounds bad.
Yikes.
We will not probe you, Prosecutor
Bernie, all
Carter.
of a sudden, I think Bernie just canceled.
Yeah, we will ask probing questions. He's like, I don't want to get probed.
I'm not getting
That
probed by
doesn't
the
sound
mayor.
good. That doesn't sound good. It doesn't hurt, Bernie, I promise. So, yeah,
Small fingers.
I'm Irish.
All right. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
You're up.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. The Martinez model for success has always been responsive. Oh, good God!
Wow.
I brutalized it. Okay, I'm going to start over again. Let's just we'll edit that out. Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. The Martinez model for success has always been responsive customer service, great tasting products with an authentic Mexican taste and high quality standards. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
All
Wow,
right.
that was rough.
It's good. We're supposed to have a Spanish word for the day. You have to think about that.
Tortilla.
Nacho. Grizzolia's
You said it.
Concrete. I know, and I was thinking about not doing it. Grizzolia's Concrete was voted #1 in the Times Best of the Region 2020 and specializes in all your concrete projects. Grizzolia's has been using the original cement finish in California style since 1972 and also offers stamped and colored concrete. For more information or a project quote, call Grizzolia's at 219-659-4127. Grizzolia's Concrete.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious taproom and outside patio, perfect for enjoying its finely crafted ales, lagers, and chef-driven food. Brewing equipment on our production side offers a unique backdrop for your private event like bridal and baby showers, reunions, and corporate events. Conveniently located just off 8094 on the Kennedy Avenue South exit, come by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu.
Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Tri has been a leader in the industry for more than 55 years and can provide your business an end-to-end communications solutions. For more information, call Tri Electronics today at 800-722-6793. Tri Electronics and tell them Lockpod sent you. I see, Tom, all I
He's
see is
just
like you
waving
waving
hands,
and
man.
fingering and
I got
like-
like fingering.
like moving his finger around in the air.
Yeah.
I
I was like, I got to cut that
I
ankle.
was like, great.
No,
What's
no.
going
Focus on me, John.
No, I was
Yeah.
trying to get
Forget
Lindsay.
we're on live TV.
We have two guests coming in. I want Lindsay to bring them both in.
Bring them.
Celebrate Earth Day 2021 by visiting the Challenger Learning Center of Northwest Indiana. Celebrate Earth Day 2021 by visiting the Challenger Learning Center of Northwest Indiana on Thursday, April 22nd. Families will explore nature and dig into science with hands-on activities that honor our home planet. For ticket and event information, visit clcnwi.com. That
And
is clcnwi.com.
When's the 22nd? Next Wednesday, I think, John. Is that right? Yeah.
Wednesday,
Whoa.
Thursday.
Oh,
Hey, guys.
Look
What's
at
up?
this.
Come on. Oh, look at this.
John
Exciting.
Kennedy.
Viewership's already dropping.
Yes.
Oh,
For those of you that aren't aware, we have John Kennedy, a triathlete.
That looks
entering
healthy,
the studio.
John.
And we have Phil Taillon, triathlete, entering the studio
Oh,
with
you're- with hard
team
candy.
shirts.
Where's my team shirt?
Where's
I love those. Look at those. Beautiful.
Wait,
Sit
wait,
down
wait.
and
So
get
hold
my-
it.
Hold on.
Get
Jake,
your,
I
old
didn't see
school?
yours.
For those of you that aren't aware, I'm trying to paint the picture for you. We just had two triathletes enter. They're a team. I use the word lightly. Triathletes. John, Phil and Kevin are on a team, and they're wearing team shirts, and I noticed that.
Old school. We're old.
But where's Kevin's team shirt?
We're going to school you.
These are hot off the presses. Literally just got them.
I like them.
I mean,
wait, what's the back say?
See the back? Mine says runner. I don't
Runner.
know, can you see that on the thing?
Mine says swimmer.
Now that's everyone's like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I didn't even check the spelling to see if it's correct. It might be,
Are you sure it says swimmer or does it say
skimmer?
substitute?
Yeah.
He spelled swimmer
Sinker.
with
John?
Sinker.
I didn't even know you were a swimmer, John. I'll be honest with you.
Neither did I until about 4 Long Islands into it.
And were we convinced you? You were?
And I think my wife did it on
at this.
purpose to make me lose weight.
Really?
You know, I think she purposely said, John's getting too fat. And he needs a goal.
She didn't say
or
something
a-
like that to me, John. I'll be
She
honest.
did.
Well,
So-
we tease John about not being able to cross his legs sometimes. So
God.
this
Yeah.
is
It's time we
not
tell
anymore.
you
Not
that-
anymore.
That was a complete setup. We were supposed to get you 4 Long Islands, and then Rose said right then, hit him with swimming in this triathlon.
That's right.
Dad, you need to stop chewing in the microphone.
My bad.
please.
These are really good.
And then his father, we're at dinner. Vesmar will remember this.
Oh,
we're
my
sitting
God.
there, and Vesmar's like, John, you got to do something about your stomach. That button is about to blow
Wow.
off your shirt. And I'm just
So
like,
you just had
I
it.
actually
You'd had it.
told, I love Tom Sr. I told him, hey, shut up.
Not only that, JK, but he called over the server. He's like, "Hey, server, come here and look at this belly." It's so
I'm like,
weird.
I've had it.
I felt so good about myself.
My dad is all about shaming.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up.
By the time we were in Arizona,
Now it
though,
makes
John
sense.
was on. He was on his routine. I got him out of bed. You know, John and I were roomies. I got him out of bed, and I made sure that John hit the pool before he hit the airport. Right?
You did.
It was
And
cold that morning,
You
too.
woke me up. You woke me up out of a very good sleep and said, "Get your suit on and go in the water."
It was like,
I was-
honestly,
it was
like Kevin's your boot camp instructor.
It's pretty intense.
You know
but
what?
You know what? He's seen me train. I mean, are you out there?
I'll be
mean,
fine. I'm not. I'm not
That's
the
a good
issue.
point, John. I
I'm
feel
not the
like
issue, Phil.
The last several team trainings we have, I haven't seen them.
Oh, I didn't know you were having team trainings, Phil. What team trainings? You like
See?
run around the pool while John's swimming?
So he's not paying attention to the text.
What team trainings are you
whatsoever.
having?
I'm just saying, Kevin, we're going to need to see more dedication because right now there's some other things going through our head. You
Really?
know what I mean?
No,
So-
I don't know what's going through your head. By the way, also, I've got John set up with a swimming instructor.
That's
He's
awesome.
moving, starting this Sunday. One of the best coaches in the region from Munster.
Are you ready for that, John?
Well, see, I'm getting all the help because I think they think I'm the dead weight of the group.
You don't mean
I'm
that.
go-
You mean
I'm
in the
gonna
sense
be
of like in the water.
I'm going to be the slow.
Don't
but
be dead weight in the water, John.
I'm telling you, fat floats.
Foreit.
And I am going to be moving quickly.
Fat float. That's the title of the
Mike
show.
Foreit, what's up?
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Who are you coaching? I like the fact that you're supporting our team, Michael.
Wait a second.
Michael's got. Come on in, Mike.
What is this?
We don't have a microphone.
Yeah. What's up, man? Nice to
Dr.
see you. You
Foreit.
just like walk into our show. Huh?
how are you?
joining you guys. I'm going to do this and kneel.
Get
Yeah.
get on a
Wait.
microphone.
What is that shirt you're wearing? What's
I'll take a microphone.
Here, we'll
Your thanks. I'll sit on your lap.
He doesn't want to get close to
So,
him.
Michael, we have to get a chair for Michael. Hold on.
Oh, he's going to come
Yeah.
over here.
He's
at
going to
Lindsay's.
sit at the producer's desk.
No. Sit. I'm going to kneel.
Okay, hold on. So Foreit walks in. He's got Team Old School on. What's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
what's
He
going on
obviously
here?
he supports us, not you. And you're
Hold on. Time out. Obviously, you guys haven't mentioned.
like get on the
You gotta
microphone.
get on the
Michael.
microphone.
We can't hear
That's
a thing.
that's
Yeah.
the important part of the
Typical,
game.
typical.
In a
Foreit.
podcast, you want to talk
I like
to
the
the microphone.
I like
yeah.
the hat. It's like a biker hat.
It's like
is a
early.
biker
It's like
hat.
early Alzheimer's.
This is a cycling hat.
Is it
Where'd you get the
cycling
shirt,
hat?
dude? Where'd you get the shirt?
You look at you today.
Can you?
Phil, I guess you got a little talking.
Well, I mean,
Wait, you haven't told him?
so
What?
we
What
haven't,
is going on
We
here?
have not seen Kevin at the team trainings.
There have been no
right?
team trainings, Phil.
So and we were
Oh, no.
I've been
thinking-
training on my own.
The other teams have been talking a lot of stuff about like you've been saying even how you're going to beat the three of us.
Yeah.
And we're thinking where can we make up some time? I guess is what it comes down
Wait,
to.
let me ask something though. Who do you think, Tom? Do you think you're going to beat or not beat John in the water?
Well, he asked that question. Hey, when are you guys going to pass me?
We said
I said
we
in the
said
water.
swimmer. I said in the water. I was
said
supporting John, my
once
teammate.
the gun
You
goes
said you were
off-
going to beat me in the water.
I said
John is.
No.
I'm supporting my old school team.
Hold on. Let me ask you a
teammates,
question.
and I said John.
Let me just ask a question. John, have you swam the whole length yet?
1,500
No,
yards.
I have not swam the whole 1,500.
Where are you at right now?
When do you plan on doing this?
Well, I am
June
progressively.
6th.
So let me
Maybe.
another
Maybe.
question. Another question.
No,
John,
so, like,
John,
I've been
did you buy a wetsuit yet?
I am in the process of purchasing one.
I'm going to go
Well,
on
no,
the
he's
record and say
trying
I'm
to-
going to
it's a
beat John in the
special
water.
order.
Okay.
Well,
You're on the record.
So
I'm
wait,
on the record. I'm going to beat you in the water.
I have lost in the last 2 weeks, I have swam now. I'm doing 3 swims a week.
You look
I've got
good,
a
too.
training session.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a suit, and I've lost over 10 pounds. I haven't
at
had
you.
pizza.
I'm not saying.
I
Looking
haven't had
great.
pizza. I mean, I am going
John
crazy.
usually would have
'cause
a
I
Bloody
haven't had
Mary
pizza.
in here. Instead, he's got fruit.
I got fruit. Usually, this would have been some cinnamon bonbons with extra icing and stuff like that.
But like, okay, so like,
You're right, John.
it
I'm
would have
still
been
donuts in.
donuts.
I'm
and-
confused though. So is Foreit actually on your team
Can
then?
we
Or?
get into this? Why is he wearing the shirt?
He's supporting us. He's supporting our
I've
team.
always supported you. Let me
Thank
just
you,
say
Michael.
that. And
He's our medical professional.
Who's
He's
the
making
team
sure
captain?
John
So
doesn't sink.
besides being a
I'm the team
cyclist-
captain.
Really?
Well, wait.
Oh, time out. I got
Wait, I
called
thought-
by the captain.
You got,
I
who's
am the cap-
Who do you
I'm the
think
captain.
the captain is?
So I would call this a bit of an intervention, Kevin.
Oh no.
Is what I want to.
Oh, this is good. What do you got, Phil?
Just,
What is
Hey,
going
Kev,
on
I
here?
always thought you had a swimmer's body. Honest to God.
Wait, am I getting
Thank-
pushed out? Is this
thank
like
you,
a
Michael.
this is a
Thank
domino
you.
effect?
I see what's happening. John's out. Who's swimming?
So who's swimming?
No, they were talking about shifting you to swimming, but that position's already covered.
By whom?
By your key team captain, Phil.
What's on
Phil's
the
not swimming. What do you know? You don't
Phil's
even
the
know
team
anything about
captain?
the
No, Mike.
Wait,
I-
I'm taking my fruit away.
I want to see the
don't
back
like
of
the direction of
Foreit's
this
shirt. I want to
conversation.
see what's on his shirt. What's on it?
What does
Old
it
school.
say?
Back
What does it say on the back of your
The
shirt?
back of the shirt.
Mike, come on over
I
here.
don't know
Come
what-
in view of the
I'm
camera.
gonna
No, he's got a camera right in
Got
front
a
of
camera.
him.
Oh,
Take
turn
Take off.
around.
Welcome to the
Take
studio,
your
Phil.
shirt off.
What does it say?
I don't know.
It says biker.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Did you
Wow.
get fired, Kevin?
Oh no.
I would hope not, since
Oh, no.
I paid for the team.
I was told I was an alternate.
Kevin,
Kev.
we appreciate your support.
It says biker.
Kevin,
It doesn't say
we- Kev-
alternate
if-
biker.
Hey, we appreciate
Michael?
Smith and Surf's
Kevin,
sponsorship.
you know when you have like an emergency proceeding or something like
Yes.
that where you have to run off?
Yes.
You never know, right? Now, me, I'm available. And,
Yeah.
and Phil crunched the numbers. And
Crunch
Johnny-
what numbers? Phil doesn't know how to crunch numbers.
Well, he used John's calculator.
Kennedy's-
And
Kevin's
John-
getting upset.
John
I
uses
get-
his
I
calculator to
understand
make
you're
a
a little
living.
heated.
I hope-
This is brand new.
I
This
hope
is-
you're joking.
Well, no, hold on. Time out. I'm surprised
Hold
that they
on a
didn't
minute.
let you on.
I know what I got in my pocket. John, take
Don't
your,
say a gun.
here. Take your check. Okay.
this?
If you
Oh
want,
my God.
if you want me out, you know what I'm going to do, Phil? Guess what? Good luck trying to register with Mike Foreit, who will probably beat me in the bike.
no.
Wow.
But
No, just not probably, but that's what
You'll
they...
be you. I saw you hike up a mountain
Now,
recently.
you were like a mountain
Very
goat.
slow.
I want to tell you, that was day 3, and that was the last of the challenges. And you were like the guy, you were like Walter Houston from Treasure of Sierra Madre when they were making fun of the old man, and he was just going like a mountain goat. That was you. Now I admit that.
If you guys want Foreit, that's okay. Because
But
now I'm
mountain
going to have a new
climbing-
team. When Kennedy's hanging on the canoe in the middle of Wolf Lake and Aiden's swimming by you, I'm going to make sure he flips you off.
Does this mean I don't have that
push him under
training
the
on
water.
Sunday?
The training's been canceled.
Training's been canceled?
Phil,
The swimming
I'm using
coach is gone.
Bobby Lundy is my new runner.
Wow.
I'm gonna,
like
he-
Lundy.
he's going to
Wow.
spit at you as
How
he runs
quickly
by
we turn.
you.
We were just making the point that we haven't seen you train. You're turning very quickly.
Kev,
on
this
us.
is a surprise
I mean,
to
you're
me that
throwing
you weren't
checks
alerted
at
to this.
people.
I
was
brought
made
watermelon
alternate.
candy again.
This is a surprise to you? It looks like you're in on it.
Well, listen.
Well,
just
I was given a
personally.
shirt.
It says biker. It doesn't
I
say
didn't
alternate
know.
biker.
I
I'd like
didn't
to
know
point
that you
out.
didn't have a shirt on. I came in.
no.
I was unaware of how
I
you're
didn't-
dressed today.
I-
I have a bicycling. I have a cycling cap on. If you didn't notice, it says, I am a
All I
bicycle.
know
cute.
is between now and June 6th, I will not be on this show because I do not want to be the next one off the team. Because it seems like I might be next.
Phil was talking about a 15 to 25 minute gain by me rolling.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
He
I
was
think-
only crunching the numbers.
You know
And
what?
that was on the low end.
Phil, good luck trying to sign up. Phil didn't even pay me yet, by
Listen,
the way.
what-
So
One
I had to
thing-
kick him off without even payment.
One
no
thing
payment.
I learned about being chief of
Oh, it's
staff,
it's
you
about
got
the
to
money.
take
Chief of
feelings
staff.
out of it. You just got to go with
Like the Ryder
right
Cup.
decisions.
Like the
and
Ryder Cup,
You know what I
Kev.
mean?
so the right decision is John Kennedy swimming.
Well,
I thought
absolutely.
you were the swimmer. Wow.
I mean, this team bonding has really gone sideways.
You got
So
the
weird
Phelps
that
I
like
thought we were
body.
trying to save John's life, is what I thought we were trying
All
to
we're
do.
trying to do is
What
survive.
check did we just lose here? This is. Oh, that's from you.
I'm returning it.
So
Oh,
let me
God.
ask you guys an
Wow.
honest question.
Yeah.
So Phil, as team captain,
Yes.
you've designated yourself team captain. I think Kevin thought he was
Yeah.
team captain,
thought
but now
I
that you're
was.
the cap, you should have put captain on the back of your shirt. But
Oh, I
so
would've-
in your
that would've
opinion,
started things.
so like I'm just looking at your team.
Yeah.
You made an analysis that the weak link on the team was Kevin Smith on the bike.
It was
And
just numbers, Tom.
You know when it started? you brought up. We were all talking about this, and you said I'm going to pass John up in the swim, And so then I was thinking to myself, in that run, I've got to have a bit of a lead on you to make sure we're going to win.
Yeah.
And the only way that happens is if we have a biker that really is going to hit it hard.
And
How much of a lead
Kevin's
will
not
you
that
need on
guy.
Tom?
Kevin's not that
Phil?
guy, obviously.
I was concerned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's all.
I've been a
mean,
lifelong
He's a little soft. I mean, let's face it.
A little bit. He hasn't been at the team trainings.
Really? I didn't even know you guys had
There
team
haven't
training.
been any, Tom.
Wait.
Issue.
I've been there.
That I was invited of. That I was invited
We got a
to.
comment in the chat we got to address here. Jill says, all I'm saying is Kevin did not get lost on the Wham route.
Oh.
Who got lost on that?
Because of those signs.
Thank
Was
you,
it Dr.
Jill.
Foreit?
Thank you, Jill.
signs
He still blames
have these
He's
microscopic.
blamed Jake Jacobs for that.
Well, Jake did send us in the wrong direction. I love you, Jake, but you sent us intentionally.
Did you
about
have that
2.5
beautiful bike
mile.
hat on during that time, too?
I had all of this
Did you have an
on.
old school shirt on?
Yeah,
He was
dude,
just going
I've been-
a longer distance.
Yeah.
That's all he was trying to do.
I love
he
you,
was trying
Jill.
to get more distance.
Yeah,
in
Jill, thank you, Jill. But yes, I had to go 2.5 miles out of my way because I was directed by the mayor's personal assistant.
Okay, so let me yeah,
and we still caught up and passed him, even though I may have cut some corners.
Jake's not my personal
you may
assistant.
have cut some corners.
That's what I just say.
Here's another. You're one a guy on your team that probably won't even get the route right.
If the signage is better, and I promise to sponsor the entire signage this year. So
Really?
yes, I promise. Because the arrows, I want giant arrows that say Wham instead of a sign that says Wham with
That isn't very comforting. That you're like, if the
It's an arrow.
signage works out, I'll make it to the end.
Well, it's not.
If I don't
listen,
see it,
Good luck,
We
guys.
should have had this conversation
Good luck,
beforehand.
fellas.
Kevin knows the route.
They'll have it
He knows
cordoned
it
off.
by-
They'll
in
have
his
it
head.
cordoned
I
off.
will say this: I barely seen you touch this fruit, Kevin. Tom's been all over it. I mean, he
a
could
lot of
tell.
sugar, lot
He's
of
been
sugar.
healthy.
Thank you, Kevin. I do
you
like
know,
that.
I'm just chowing,
I do like
watching you guys fight with each other. Your team is like eating each other for breakfast right now.
It's
I think this was a
completely
setup by Tom.
collapsed.
And I'm pretty
He's
hungry.
like, you guys are going down.
Can I be honest with you guys?
Yes.
I set the whole thing up.
What are you
This whole
talking-
thing, this whole drama. Like Kevin knew about this, that you guys were coming in the studio, and Kevin was prepared the whole time to double cross the double crossers. Basically, everybody in the studio
You see
got
where
played
the-
by me.
You see
What?
where the,
Dude, I've been getting massages
what?
and everything.
Oh,
I'm telling
Okay.
you.
I've been
I told
working out for
Kevin
nothing.
first thing. I said, these
Don't
guys
mess with us.
These guys are trying to double cross you, Kevin.
Wow.
And I set up the double crossers.
Well, I'm still keeping the check bag.
You know what? Bring this.
yeah,
fruit
bring the
down.
fruit back.
You guys are too deep for me with
Give
this
me that
double
fruit
the
bag.
double
That's
cross
my breakfast.
business.
Foreight's now confused. He's like, wait, I'm not on
I'm
the team.
always confused.
Wait, I'm not on the team?
Baseline confused,
Thanks,
but
guys.
I guess I'm an alternate. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Phil's
think you're the
captain.
equipment man.
I don't mind if you have a breakdown.
Yes.
You're the only one who's
Hold on a
ever
second.
encountered speed shakes on a downslope,
That's
and so
true.
that's danger, man. That's speed wobbles, and you told me
Yes.
seriously,
Death wobble.
Death wobble. We can't have you stopping because
One of the
you're
scariest moments of my life.
because you're riding
Phil's
junk.
up to something.
You know, I can't have
Phil
that. So
just
the
ran
guy
out.
Phil
Phil
is up
took
to
that into
something.
account when he replaced you with me.
Look at Phil.
Question
Look at
from
this.
chat: who's on Mayor's team?
Mayor is-
See, now
Mayor
this is good.
Mayor Tom.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Nice.
look at
Look
that.
at that.
Biker. Thank
Put it
you,
on,
Phil.
Kevin.
You
Put
should
it
have
on.
said primary.
Primary.
Alternate.
biker.
Not alternate.
Alternate, baby.
Let's
I'm
get into this,
alternate.
though.
Well,
you know,
who's my alternate?
As much as we've been enjoying being teammates, you know, the people that are doing it on their own, like the mayor, kudos.
Like Janice?
Yes, like your wife.
Kudos.
Yes,
like my,
everyone.
and my
Yes,
wife,
all of them.
right?
Right.
You guys are really the
Well, first off,
triathletes.
let me ask you guys a straight up question. First off, when are you guys going to pass me up? You will. And then, like, so obviously you're not going to beat me in the water.
Wow.
Is that a safe
Ouch.
statement?
I mean, side stroke versus freestyle. Well, we'll see about that.
I am going to side stroke a lot.
It's gonna be
do it
interesting.
freestyle.
Here's
Yeah,
what.
it's
gonna
Yeah,
be
he's
something.
freestyle.
And even your brother is giving me training advice. So
Yeah.
Aaron's gave me some tips yesterday for my workout tomorrow. So yeah, I'm hitting the water.
Well, here
again
at the end of
tomorrow.
the day, you know, a team's going to beat an individual most of the time. So it's all kudos to the people that are doing it the whole way
Yes,
through, because I couldn't
definitely.
do it.
So-
Could not do
so-
it.
John, you think you're gonna beat me in the water?
I'm probably gonna faint once I pass the key fob to Kevin.
Make sure you make it to me.
So
Don't
someone
faint
has to-
before.
Doc, you need to be at that first transition to make sure.
I'll be there. You'll just be floating.
Yes.
And I'll just come and find you.
I just
I'll
hope there's good
use a-
signage in the water so John knows where to go.
It's a gaffing hook. It's not the first
I
year
might
I've
be
talked
following
about the
Tom
signage.
because
It's
Tom knows
signage
the
issue.
course. I'll just make
I don't
sure
know
I'm
the
right on
course.
Tom's heel.
I heard it's just around Boy Scout Island.
You,
But
it's
it's
like
like-
off from the launch, behind the path.
Right. Yeah. I have my wetsuit. I'm ready to go, man.
You look good in your wetsuit.
I
Tony,
thought
saw
it's a
the
new
picture.
profile picture. It looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I regularly swim like a mile. Like
Kev, you'd look good in the
3 or
wetsuit,
4 times a
dude.
week
I
right
don't
now.
think so.
Yeah, that
I'm
would
not
help,
doing
man.
that
It helps
much.
me.
I don't have the cardio.
What do you? How long do you think if you freestyle? How long do you think it'll take you? Because
I'm trying anywhere.
Mine will
Right
be
now,
35.
my goal is anywhere from 45 plus,
Really?
45 to 55
See,
in
I'm
that
gonna
range.
be-
But that's where I'm at now.
I'm telling
hoping
you,
to get
I'm going to
down
be at
about
35, even with the side
Well,
stroke.
then, yeah,
Thank
you will. Then,
At 600
okay.
yards, you're at 45? No.
No,
you mean
not
that's
now.
your goal.
But
That's
for
when
the
I
whole
take over.
1500, Yeah,
That's
So
when I
then-
come in.
Yeah, if you're at
Yeah.
that pace, then you will beat me out of the water. Then it's up to Kevin to catch you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
And
presumably I get out of the water, and let's say I'm 10 minutes in front of John. I have to get changed, which is going to take me 5 minutes, right? I jump on my bike.
You're already.
Kevin will catch me probably.
I don't
within
know.
5
It depends
miles.
how hard you're going to ride.
You'll
Because
catch-
we
I'm
usually
not
ride
riding
pretty
hard.
similar.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you
gonna
guys
ride
are
hard.
you guys ride parallel.
Yeah.
to one
I'm not
another,
going to ride
which
hard.
is far
I'm
behind.
not going to
me.
ride hard. I'm telling you, I'm not pushing on the bike. I'm saving my energy up for
You've
the
got
run.
tree trunks for legs, though.
Well, listen, it's like it's the test of truth. You know, it's a time trial, and you got nobody to help you. You can't draft
No,
off of anybody.
you can't draft
you
off
gotta plow.
anybody, right.
So the reality is that I'm at a 4 to 5 mile an hour difference, which equates to almost a half an hour gain.
Right.
Wow.
He's
yeah,
still trying to
He
get us
still
to get him
thinks
on
he's
the
on a
team.
team.
I couldn't, Kevin. I was against it because I was worried about your feelings.
But now
for
look
a
at you.
split second.
Now you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, after they convinced me of the gain and what it's going to do because it's going to embarrass Tom, you know.
Then you're in. You were in the heartbeat.
Wow. Well, this double cross us got double crossed again.
Apparently.
Double cross the double crossers.
I'm back in.
So then what about, all right, so we end, let's just say we end even.
You
at
and
the
me?
at the race, at the ride.
Just Phil blows me away on the run.
All right.
I'm not. First off, you're going to catch me and beat me unless you decide to ride with me. But I wouldn't suggest that.
We're going to ride.
Yeah,
hard.
you're going to pass me, and I'm not going to be pushing. I'm going to go 13 or 14 on my bike because I'm saving my energy for the run.
I would gain almost an hour then.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not racing you guys. I can't. I'm by myself. Like
hope
you
you're-
guys are all like when
Absolutely. I mean,
I'm
I
not
think
racing you.
all the-
I'm not
all the-
trying to keep up with you. I'm not. If John beats me in the water, I'm fine with that. I got to make the whole damn
This
thing.
could be another double cross.
It's
He
not a double
could be
cross.
like
I'm telling you,
training
no.
to destroy us.
I don't want to beat you guys. I'm
all
not
the
going to
credit
beat you
to
guys.
those that are doing all three of them.
I'm not
Completion.
racing Jana either. By the way,
Amen.
Jana's going to kick my ass.
I don't know about that.
And those strong swimmers that see me floating face down, turn me over.
Turn-
turn me over. All right.
Face down is not
Just in
good.
case if I've sold the water,
If you see
55
him
minutes
face
later,
up,
there is a problem.
You're resting face up.
I'm
If it's
looking
face
for
down,
John.
you're not
like,
doing
John, are
something.
you out there?
Yeah,
John.
I'll be hanging onto that orange buoy halfway through.
They're like he's doing that new technique where he floats in the water face down for a half an hour.
I think the tide's bringing him in.
Yes, we'll
He's
get him.
almost here.
I'm trying to get a 10 millimeter buoyancy suit. I know that's not regulation in the triathlon.
You better
but
make sure you're
I will
regulation.
be above board,
Oh,
man.
you'll
I'll
just,
just be
like,
like float. Yeah.
Hey, Foreit, you
Yo,
know next Tuesday shows 420. I
I'll
didn't know.
come in. I'll come in.
We
Can
want
you
you to come
can you
in.
stop by?
We
gotta-
Would
we're
you like
trying-
me to bring any celebratory?
No.
This is a law
no.
office. Kevin
I'm
wants to
talking
remind.
about just like coffee.
Bring a
Albanese,
t-shirt.
I
yeah.
was talking about coffee.
Would you come by
guys-
Tuesday though?
Of course,
as a
I will.
guest.
I'll be
Yeah,
Because
we're
we have a marijuana executive. We're hoping as a guest that day. Also, we'd love to have you in,
I
Doctor.
question him on the medical necessity, which is an absolute.
Yeah.
Yep.
420 day is Tuesday.
We're going to talk 420. We're going to talk marijuana regulations and laws throughout the country and where
Hey.
Indiana is on it. So.
Yes.
Don't we have a present for Dr. Mike?
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. I know you
I
guys.
think
Phil,
you're,
did you get
Mike,
a present?
We got you a present because we
Yeah.
love you.
I love you guys too. I do.
And this is, I think you're
Oh
going to
my
really enjoy
God.
It's
this.
some type of.
Oh, you may ask.
Michael,
Oh my.
does this bring trauma when you see this?
Oh no.
Well, it's
We were going to put a little color crown down there, but here, it's a Maltese dog for those of you that can't see. It's a very cute little white-haired dog.
Yeah.
Dr. Foreit is...
You may ask, why would a Maltese
These
dog?
these scare the crap out of Dr. Foreit.
I think he's shaking.
Now I had a flying Maltese at the.
Flying Maltese.
I didn't know it was the gal that I was dating at the time, and the dog woke me using its little hot iron. And
What do you mean? How did it wake you?
I felt some pressure in my eye.
So hold it. So a Maltese
back up.
humped your face.
Like to the point where it woke you up?
It woke me, Cap. He didn't get a chance to
So-
climax.
So it's,
Oh, God.
He's getting traumatized again. Look at him.
He was possessive, and I was in his spot, and I woke. He
With
let me
'cause
know.
new
by-
girlfriend.
Yeah, with the girl I was staying with, and he just let me know by poking me in the eye.
Wow.
Really?
He's like,
I was
get out of
surprised.
here.
I'm sure you
told us.
reacted-
I think he
Why
thought
do
he
you
was going to
guys-
get sympathy
Why do you
from
guys
us.
think I would love something like this,
We
though?
want-
It's without genitals.
Oh, I didn't know you like your stuffed animals with genitals,
Well,
Dr. Mike.
Well,
do they
Vez
sell them
here-
that way, John? I don't know.
Vez here had some photos that really were traumatizing.
We don't want to see those.
I have those ready to go
No,
up
no,
on
no,
screen.
no, no. We're
No,
not going
that's
to show
all right.
those.
Yeah.
And you guys instantly pummeled me once I shared my darkest, deepest trauma.
You should know
sexual
better.
Trauma, right?
You should know
know
better.
This story came up on the trip that we
Yes, we were
just on
tripping.
together.
Don't show it.
We're
Don't,
tripping.
don't tell your. Keep that. We're
Yes.
keeping that.
We wanted to get you the
Yes.
Maltese. Please put that on your bed so you could think about it.
When the Maltese's days were done,
Yes.
and he was an old guy, and they asked who would take him over to the place, I raised
You're like me. Did he ever make it?
No, he lived a long life, but it was at the end of days I drove him.
He went and had him neutered first, and then he took him to put him
The
down.
neutering didn't remove that tool he had.
Yeah.
It was that-
Hey, Mike, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So, if the dog was humping your eye, that means his front paws were on one.
Do you want me to draw a picture for you, Tom?
So
Is that what you're
I'm
looking
trying to
for?
picture the dog here. His
Okay.
front paws are like by your right ear.
The fact
His
that
back
you-
paws are by your left ear, and
The
he's
fact
literally
that you're
humping
trying
your
to
face.
imagine what was going on.
Could
is
you
a
do it
little
with
twisted.
Could you take the Maltese and put it over your face
Very
like it was?
twisted.
Can you do that for
He
us?
was on my head, okay?
Like front paws by left ear, back paws by right ear.
I don't know where
Don't
his
make him
paws were,
relive.
dude.
Hot
I don't know where
iron
his
and
paws
right
were.
eye, right?
He was this. I woke and there was this thing, and I said Jesus, and there was. and
And the next thing you knew, he wasn't
was
on
flying.
your face.
He was a flying
Maltese?
and he was fine.
I think Lindsay's
He never did
traumatized.
it again. He never once did it again.
Lindsay's
long
in
It
the
was a
corner.
lesson for both of us.
Lindsay's in the corner with her head down. She's like embarrassed.
Linz, I didn't know what else to do, and I'm a dog lover, and my sister's a saver, and she takes anything
Rescue.
that's rescue everything, and
So it was a flying Maltese. You
flying
said.
Maltese.
Really,
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And after that, you guys were on good terms.
Well, let's just say we kept our distance.
There.
Okay, he knew that I was
You're the
aware
boss.
of I
You
was
were the
aware
boss
of
from
what
there.
he was going to be doing if I closed my eyes in that place. I didn't go there a lot.
He could wear contacts, but he chooses to have glasses
These are
on his
protective.
entire life.
These are safety.
Just
all
in
of mine are
case.
safety rated too because of that, Phil.
I
And
get
I
it.
didn't
I
tell
get
you
it.
guys that.
Goggles.
Yeah, these
everything.
are all. You shoot BBs at these things, and yeah, I think it could bother them.
Hot irons.
Since that day.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead, have some more fun with me.
So I wanted to sort of summarize everything that we've gone through
love
here in
Dr.
the second
Mike.
half of the show.
you too.
We do have Leon's Triathlon coming up on June
6th.
June
Saturday,
6th.
June 6th.
Saturday, June 6th, Leon's Triathlon, the annual tradition. They do allow teams, so Team Old School will be competing that day along with, real men like myself that are doing the whole thing, and and Jana, not a real man like Jana, but she's super tough. Obviously, very
tougher
tough
than me.
individuals. If you have to do it in a team, I guess that's fine too, but whatever. John has not swam the whole distance yet.
No.
He still maintains he's going to beat me. John has not bought a wetsuit yet, so he's obviously. Have you shaved your legs?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
Okay.
I'm training with all the drag I can get.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
apparently during the team training that I haven't been invited to yet. But
I get it. So
After
when you
this.
shave,
All the-
After the okay,
Shave,
thanks.
I'll have a suit on, so it
when you
won't
shave
matter.
all that hair off, then you're just going to fly through the water.
I'm gonna get a skip.
And there's
Right.
Leon right
Skip
there
it.
on the video. There's Leon in the hat in this.
Oh, is that
on
Leon?
the website? Right
And
there.
it looks like the lead singer from Bush with him, right?
I don't know who that is. Probably
It
a
looks like-
triathlete.
Right.
Yeah, triathlete. You guys are all triathletes.
He does a lot for veterans. Obviously
Gavin
Mayor
Newsom-
Tom's
not Gavin Newsom.
Mayor Tom's a veteran,
Gavin-
but he does a lot with disabled veterans and encourages them to race. A lot of stuff, a lot of flags out there, USA the whole way. It's Leon does a great job at that. at
Okay,
this
so
race.
Phil, have you been training 6 miles?
I did
You
the
ready?
10K a few days ago.
Nice.
So I'm ready.
Kevin, 22 on a bike yet?
Yes, and we're doing more tomorrow, right, Phil?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So 2/3 of your team is ready. 1/3 of it is, preparing for the June
In the
6th
process.
premiere. Right?
We're getting there.
Foreit
I'll
did
be
not-
ready. I'll be ready should I be called.
Thank you.
So, asking the team captain Phil. So
sir.
Kevin was not fired. Is that
Insulting
true?
to me.
He's not fired.
Okay.
We are. We're going to destroy everybody in this
Wow.
race.
Yeah.
This
Wait,
team
wait.
right here. This
Everybody
old
our
school
age.
team.
Wait,
So where's Foreit's role is standby?
Just in case.
ready.
I mean, somebody tweaks a
I'm
hammy
ready.
or something.
Gotcha.
We'll bring him
I've
in.
been getting massages preventatively.
Good thinking.
Tom, think we'll all be triathletes when this thing's done.
I know.
Wow.
You know what I
well,
mean?
I'll be
one
a
of-
third of
one
one.
of us will be.
I'll be a third of one.
And
I'm
then,
going to call myself a triathlete after this, no matter what. So
He's so cute.
and then
Thank you so
Dr.
very
Foreit hates Maltese dogs.
No,
Yes,
I don't
that's
hate
what we've
them.
learned.
It's just I was traumatized by one. That's
Now
all.
you're petting that one. I
Well,
like
listen, I've come to terms with this a long time ago, man. It's
Yeah.
taken me a long time. Lot
take
of
that with
therapy.
you to your psychologist
A lot
appointment.
of therapy. I have appointments. My daughter's always working on my skull. My son Jay's got 1,000 miles in this year already on a bike.
Wow.
That's
cra-
what
you're
you should
full
have
of-
got.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
that's what you got.
You're
should've
messing
got.
with me.
2,000.
No, he's trying to get
2,000.
my head.
2,000.
He's trying to get my head. That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
Jay
Yeah.
shakes it at him all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we do.
So
All right,
anyway,
well,
I think
Fort-
we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, 420 with Dr. Mike next
Dr.
Tuesday.
Mike,
I
so
look
you are
forward
going to
to-
stop
yes,
by?
of course I'll
You don't
stop
have to
by.
stay the whole show if you have to go to work. We understand.
Listen, I
And-
work. I have a job. Yeah.
I know you do.
love
And
it.
then I want to thank Lindsay for doing a great first half
Lindsay's
and then
great. I've done
forfeiting her seat for the good of the cause on the second half.
Thank you, Linz.
Appreciate that, Linz. Yeah.
Yes. And I love her voice too, which I took away her microphone by coming in over here because I love her the way she corrects you guys all the time.
She's very good at that.
Yes, the
Thanks,
best at it.
thanks,
yeah.
Vesmar, for producing another awesome show. We had a really large
guys,
audience
this
today.
was-
I enjoyed you guys on that trip immensely. That was the greatest adventure, hiking and doing all those kind of things.
Lot of fun.
And Kevin, it's true. I couldn't keep up with you.
Well, you can keep up with me on the bike. Wait, I can't keep up with you on the
Bless
bike.
your
is what I
heart
should
for
say.
he's an
Yes.
honest as the day is long.
I want to thank John Kennedy, the fish, we call him, the
fish.
dolphin. The dolphin.
You know, it's so funny
how
how,
about
much we've
turtle?
always thought about that about John.
I always thought you're just like a natural in the water. It's
Yeah,
no wonder
floater.
they picked you.
Natural
Yeah,
floater.
Natural
Like a-
floater.
Just
Yeah.
don't be the
turd.
anchor. You don't want to be
If
the
this
anchor.
doesn't motivate you right here, John, this is what you need.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm there
It's the
tomorrow
fuel.
on the pool again.
I'd like to thank the team captain, Phil Taillon, for
Yes.
making tough decisions on behalf of Team Old School.
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah.
John
We'll
crunched the
talk about
numbers.
this
John
over
used his
breakfast.
calculator and did the numbers on it. She does that for a living. Uses calculator for
Does
a
he?
living. Yeah.
I do.
And so he
Calculating
only
his
said
commission on every deal?
30 minutes. Now that Tom's only doing 13 on the bike, that's almost an hour gain.
Really?
Right. That's
yeah.
right.
Well,
That's
then if
why-
we beat him, that's going to be something.
Yeah, I don't know why he's slowing down. Tommy can
I'm
roll 18, 19.
preserving my energy. That's what it's called. Because I have to run 6 miles. If
He
you want
can-
to go run 6 miles with me
No,
today?
sir, don't.
Okay.
But he can roll. Typical day, Tommy rolls 18,
Agreed.
19
Yeah,
average.
right.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Kevin Smith, my
You
great co-host, and
Thanks, Mayor.
the biker on the team currently.
Currently.
Still.
Currently, you may have a
Currently.
emergency, proceeding.
Right.
You never know.
What do they call that in the law?
Don't try to trip me in the hallway.
Kevin, what's
No,
the
I
term?
wouldn't do that to you. You know,
Provisional. The
Provisional.
provisional
Yeah.
biker. It's like you're it now.
Currently.
I
Currently.
was there on the
Right.
trip to make sure nobody got hurt. Every time somebody suggested, let's go faster, I was like, you guys, if I trip, I'm going to Vegas next, too. And I don't want to be on a set of crutches in that mob scene.
I want to thank the great Dr. Foreit for
Thanks.
coming
Love
in.
having you guys
And we're
here,
going to
too.
see you on Tuesday for 420 Day. I don't
Yes.
know why we'd bring you in on 420 Day, but it just seems
Medical
appropriate.
opinion. Personal
you.
medical
All
opinion.
right. And of
Yes.
course, from your locomotive, an actual man that's doing the whole
The
tri.
real triathlete in the room.
The real triathlete when it's all
Actual man.
done.
The
Yeah.
bad.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks everybody for listening. It was a fun show. It was a great show. We had a great audience. We want to thank our audience for always watching us, and to our sponsors and supporters. Thank you very much. We will see you on 420 Day, which is on Tuesday. Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Keep it real.
Thank you.